I actually take a medication called Nexium because I have a cough, and you were telling me that this is an epidemic of people taking things like Nexium to control indigestion when in fact their systems are, they're not producing bile, they're not getting rid of the bacteria. So can you explain what you explained to me? Because I found that fascinating.
A lot of people take these acid blockers because they think they have too much acid because it's coming up and they're having acid reflux. But we're finding out that's not really the case. What the case is that they have too low of acid in the first place. Now, acid is needed for two reasons. It activates your enzymes to break down your proteins so you can digest your proteins. And then it's also used to kill these bacteria that's on our food. So if you have low acid, you're not going to be able to break down your proteins, and you're also not going to be able to kill these bugs, and you're going to start being susceptible to all these bugs in your body, bacteria and viruses coming in on your food. So that's the big problem nowadays, because everybody's on this Nexium or any of the other ones that are lowering their acid. So you're lowering your acid, you're being susceptible to more bugs, and you're not being able to digest some of your food.
So what's the solution?
The solution is to get your acid back up to where it should be. And acid reflux usually comes from when you have low acid, the bacteria is not being killed, and so it's producing these gases that are coming back up into your esophagus.
So there's like a battle happening
in
one's belly.
Yeah, so what you want to do is get your acid back up, and you get off of that stuff. There's ways you can do it. You can take HCl once you get your body.
Sorry, what's HCl?
HCl is hydrochloric acid, so you can take like betaine HCl comes in a supplement if you're tend towards low acid, and you take it with your meal so that you give yourself more acid in your stomach.
Oh. Yeah. Now you also mentioned that a lot of people's livers are all over the place and they're not producing bile. Can you tell me what that's all about?
Yes. The liver, of course, is the cleaner of the body, right? So it's filtering the blood and cleaning out everything. Nowadays, we are bombarded with toxins from everything, from the air pollution, from people's cologne, from our food, our drink, from plastics, from...
Sorry, go on.
So our livers are becoming, they're becoming bombarded with all these toxins. They can't work properly. You see a lot of people are not producing bile. Now, bile is what's needed to also digest your food, because you have all this acid coming from the stomach dropping into the small intestines. The small intestines is not equipped for acid. So it's supposed to drop this bile when your food drops in there, and it makes it more alkaline. Okay, so now that it's alkaline, it can go through the rest of the system. So most people, when they're having liver issues, their liver's not working properly, they're not dropping the bile either. And so what's happening is you're getting this acid coming into the small intestines now, and the body's saying, get this out as fast as possible. And so you're going to end up being on the toilet a lot more because you've got so much acid in your system and you're not dropping that bile.
So diarrhea and
you have diarrhea,
runny stools.
Or
so I do know a few medical terms.
Soft stool. You also will be very gassy. Like some people who are really gassy all the time usually will have an issue dropping bile.
Oh, look, I've noticed that walking around America, and on buses, Greyhound buses. God. Anyway, let's move on, Doctor.
Okay. So that's the deal with bile. If you can fix your dropping your bile properly, and you can fix the acid in your stomach, you are golden. You're going to feel 100 times better than you've ever felt.
So we've talked about adding hydrochloric acid to our diet, yes, to get the acid up. But what can we do to get our livers right and get the our bile-producing livers working?
There's a lot of things you can do. One of the things we do, I give a beet supplement. It's a powdered beets and...
you meant like a beetroot?
Beetroot, yeah. It's like beetroot.
That's an aphrodisiac too.
Is it?
Yeah, because weightlifters use it. Because I had a mate who was a weightlifter, and he said that weightlifters use beetroot juice it pumps blood through the system and oxygen through your blood, and it can also act like
on your liver.
Yeah, it can also act like a Viagra, natural Viagra. Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, haven't heard that.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So beet is good for getting bile?
Beet, yeah. So what I usually do, I have people take this beetroot. It's powdered with the greens. I have them take it 2 hours after they eat because that's usually when you start dropping your food into your small intestine.
What about just having beetroot juice?
You could do beetroot juice 2 hours after you eat. You could do that as well. There's other things you could do, like bitters will help you. Yeah, that'll help the gallbladder drop bile. And then choline will also help thin the bile a little bit.
Choline, sorry, what's choline?
Choline's a supplement we use, and it helps you thin your bile. Yeah.
Well, Doctor, thanks for your time. So there you go. Getting your digestive system sorted. Lovely. Thank you, Doctor.